मंच पे उपस्थित हमारे मित्र पंकज जी, महावर जी, जैन साहब और दीनदयाल जी तो गए पिछले मंच पे उपस्थित आ रहे हैं क्या? ओके। दीनदयाल जी आप पीछे हैं तो आपको यहीं से मैं संबोधित कर रहा हूँ. सो एंड द डिग्निटरीज, फ्रेंड्स फ्रॉम TDBs and from industries present here today. First of all, as Marwaji has said, the summit has started 15 minutes late and the biggest culprit is before you. I came late, so you guys were waiting. Nonetheless, probably when I leave this dais, I will do justice to your wait more than what you have expected. Coming back to this summit, first of all, let me congratulate CSR Foundation team led by Marwaji, supported by Pankaj and Deendayal ji, President and all, to timely holding this summit. This is 9th National Summit and the topic selected today is electric vehicle, hydrogen fuels and your biofuels, etc. Because as now the JS is not here with me, he was speaking about Panch Amrit, which Honorable Prime Minister had announced in this COP26 summit. And by the way, this COP26 summit, all those policy drafting and etc. was closely, in fact, I can say my friend Richa, he is the Regional Secretary in Ministry of Ministry of Environment. She led this entire process and we were together in IIM Bangalore. So I have that satisfaction. From that perspective, let me say a few things which Pankaj has said before I come back to for TDBs and how I am supporting. Pankaj said that in UK, train on hydrogen is already moving. For your kind information, I met last week one of the professor in from NIRI who was on our project evaluation committee, Rajesh Kumar, and he told me they are working very extensively on hydrogen, and in Nagpur, railway has already given one locomotive to that institute to work on that perspective. So soon you may be finding that India also we are running a locomotive on hydrogen fuel. So experiment they have already started. Again, and in fact, by the way, I went to Nagpur on a specific project. That project we are evaluating as of now. We have not yet decided funding, but probably we may. That they are developing hydrogen sensor. It is very useful for in your production where this in factories, as Timka was saying, the grey hydrogen now mostly coming out. So there also, if your percentage goes above 2% of, then some BIP comes, and if it is 4%, then all. So this kind of sensor they are developing. So we went to evaluate this projects, and there I was told by the professor that they have already developed a very viable technology on green hydrogen, saying like Agrawal's packer and mover in transportation. You see, hydrogen fuel has 2 or 3 challenges. One is obviously production. We all know grey, blue, green. I am not going to that aspect. But then there are storage and transportation. So for transportation purposes, they have already developed this technology. And then obviously I am not a scientist. I am, although Marwaji has given so many, क्या बोलते हैं हमारे लिए इतने उपमा का इन्होंने प्रयोग किया, प्रोबेबली आई एम नॉट, मैं उसका हकदार नहीं हूँ. हकदार हमारे TDB के टीम जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं. दैट इंस्टीट्यूशन हैज़ बिल्ट इट्स रिपुटेशंस. ओके, So coming back to that, I said, I am a generalist. Tell me, you have a technology to transport. Where have you demonstrated somewhere, or you are? You say that's the problem is they are not yet found some commercial people venture to come and adopt that technology. So development is happening, but this adoption of technology is one of the biggest challenges for where we as a organization chip in. I will come back to that aspect a little later. Then I said, okay, fine, if you are having this technology, so I will help you in for testing purpose. So I said that you tell me what are the uses. Then he said that the biggest usage can be that a stand-alone tower, the telecom tower in rural areas where electricity is a problem, even say natural sunlight from solar system is also is a problem. So there you can be they have not only developed a technology, like I can say in simplicity, that in liquid form this hydrogen is stored in certain cylinder. They already developed it, and then transport through truck. And they said, I will install one some sort of equipment for a general purpose. You understand कि जैसे घर में वो रसोई में लगाते हैं ना, सिलेंडर निकाला, दूसरी सिलेंडर लगाया और चालू. So this kind of things they have already developed. So I said, okay, fine, then I am from telecom sector, I work in telecom, I know all those guys. So I will help you in testing this on certain telecom towers. And if it is really successful, probably this will change at least to usage in one particular area. So with this example, why I have given in details that in our country, our scientists are really good. They are working on it, but only problem is if once it comes to its adaptation on commercial basis, there we don't find, in fact 10 or 15 years back, the kind of support was not there to take a risk. But today, the system developed the last 5 or 7 years has transformed this entire scenario. As you are well aware, Honorable Prime Minister already has spoken about on 16th of January, they have declared it as a startup Divas or a startup day. So India, more than 50 or 60,000 startup is already registered on by DPIIT site, and every month around 3 or 4 startup is getting converted into unicorn. Last year itself 45 startup was converted into unicorn. And today this totality, when compared to again previous year it was 11, previous to that it is 10, 2013, prior it was nowhere, people were not knowing about it. So totality is roughly 85 or 9, I think 86 startup which is already converted to unicorn. We are third unicorn in the world. As per number of unicorn concerned, after US and China, we have already surpassed UK this year. As far as so, this system, people are coming and adopting this technology, and from Technology Development Board perspective, we have funded such kind of high risky ventures, such kinds of high risk projects where banks are normally, they are reluctant to come. I will give you one example of electric vehicle. The first electric vehicle project, REVA, was funded by Technology Development Board. Okay. Today we all, I think I always tell these anecdotes to stress our point, what TDB has done to change this entire landscape of one particular sector is your vaccination. Today we say that we are self-sufficient, we have developed our own COVID vaccine by Bharat Biotech, and we have administered within 2 years more than 100 crores or 130-50 crores of vaccination. The foundation was led by an organization called Technology Development Board way back in 96-97, when they first funded the project of Bharat Biotech, Santa Biotech for hepatitis B vaccine. That time they were also newcomers. Bank were reluctant, the bank was not come forward for their funding, so Technology Development Board did that. And today that ecosystem, which then thereafter we funded their 2-3 projects. One of the project is under consideration for nasal vaccine, which PM has announced last while we were addressing to United Nations. So we are also considering that project. So you name it, any company in the pharma sector, be it Ranbaxy, be it Bicon E, anyone, all projects were funded by us. So today we are at this fourth step. Probably this hydrogen technology or electric vehicles so because lots of small component, I said that's job example as hydrogen sensor, very small component. So even a startup or any MSME can come and take that. So in the entire value chain of a system, either you say electric vehicle or hydrogen for or biofuel purpose. In fact, one of the projects, anaerobic energy we funded in Hyderabad, they are developing bio-CNG from the sewage, on sewage sludge. This is a project funded by us from environmental. So this kind of risk we take and we fund those projects. So therefore, during this two-day summit, if you find, or obviously I am sure that you will come across to maybe some value addition or value in the value chain, if some product you think fascinating to you and you want to, as an entrepreneur, you want to start your production facility or commercialization of that particular things, so TDB is there to help you. So how we do it and what we exactly do. You see, normally we say that if your technology is ready for commercialization, we do not fund R&D. There are institutions in Department of Science and Technology who funds R&D. We do not indulge in the R&D because we are a niche and a unique organization. So we say, okay, if the product has come or the process or product has come to a stage, we call it technology readiness level around 6 or 7, where you can now hit the market, your prototype is ready, you have already demonstrated the project, demonstrated the products, and you did is one of the fine example which you might be astonished to note that the first project which I signed as Secretary Technology Development Board has already created history, and we supported Bottleg Dynamics and they've flown 1,000 drones so on 29th of January. So this project was funded by technology development. In fact, the initial seed funding was from DST, IIT Delhi funding also came from Department of Science and Technology. So you can, in turn, you can say this entire funding was public funding, and today they have demonstrated the capability that India has become the 4th nation in the world to have this drone show capability of around more than 1,000 drones. And they have IIT director, outgoing IIT director has set a target of 7,500, I am told, to be shown on 15th of August this year to celebrate 75 something like that. So they are working on it. Okay. Similarly, I think few days back we and our team met Honorable Minister of Health and Chemical and Petrochemicals and said, why don't we do certain good programs on that? We are also working on that. The idea came during the discussion, can we identify, let us say, 75 chemicals, because India is importing heavily on chemicals from across, mainly from China, and do a program, joint program. We are working on that. It is initial stages. I'm just saying because to stress upon my point, as things are really changing from policy perspective as well as industry perspective. And Secretary in Petrochemicals has next day called a meeting with industry people, FICCI and all this chemical. And we are on the process of selecting 75 chemicals. And the time frame is again 75 weeks. On this 75 chemicals, 75 weeks in India Atmanirbhar, the kind of thing we are working on that sector. So in nutshell, the point is, if you have certain emerging technology, which is obviously electric vehicle, now electric vehicle policy or hydrogen, already the 17th of February, Government of India has announced new hydrogen policy. Prime Minister has said that hydrogen mission will be launched, and the part of this policy is there. Electric vehicle also, the government has set a very, supportive policy as far as electric mobility is concerned. Ministry of Road Transport is saying if you have electric-led transport vehicle, then I will not require the permit. They are saying a state government, so you do not charge them road taxes, and so on and so forth. Not only that, this GST has been reduced to 5% from 18 or 12% respectively for the vehicle as well as battery or charging system. So the things are policy level is happening. Now it is entrepreneur level. You have to come forward, and what I am looking for after this 2-day summit, there's some sort of a program or some sort of a, you see, product, our process will be taken by few of you as entrepreneurs, maybe alone or maybe in association with industry, and you come up with a project, and once your project is ready, I am there, TDB entire team is there to help you. We fund 50% of your project cost except working capital. Rest you have to either through your equity, or you can take loan from the bank also, and with our stamp of project evaluation, we do project evaluation from expert of the field. We don't do ourselves. Obviously we are associated, but to lend that extra weightage behind our impartiality, we select, if it is a medical project, maybe medical fraternity, AIMS and etc. If it is engineering related, then with IIT or NIT, NERIS and the kind of faculty as a project evaluation team. And later on this project evaluation team becomes your handhold. They do hand-holding along with TDB till your project is completed. And we do not charge anything either for process or evaluation of this entire project. And this help of project monitoring during this process, once your project is completed, it's also free. So in any case, if you are finding any difficulty and want a certain your expert advice, we are there along with your team are there to support you. And this funding is also very nominal rate of interest, normally 5% we charge. That is simple. Once your project is ready, once your product is ready, then we give 1 year. Maybe let's say your project is 2 years or 3 years. So once your project is completed, that expert says your project is now completed. So from that day, we give 1 year moratorium to them. And then repayment start in 4.5 year, 6 monthly installment. So it's a very, very you see, supportive ecosystem, supportive you see, the kind of not only from finance perspective, from technicals and other know-how also, Technology Development Board supports it. And we are saying if at all anything is required, let's welcome Amitabh Kant sir. So now, I know our chief guest is already here, so I will not take much time for you. I just want to conclude with the saying that I always say you have to be courageous and take challenges. If it is in you, you are ready to take a challenging projects, or in this case hydrogen, EV and etc. From Government of India side, Technology Development Board is there to help you in this endeavor. Thank you very much.